morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bridget.
I'm Wendy.
And this is
Flickin' Beans.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Bridget?
Well, I was late and I said there was a story. Somehow I drove myself right out of town. I was like, wait, farms? Wait. So the reason is because I'm watching my friend's dog. Mm-hmm. Not Alyssa's dog, but this is Megan, my work daughter, and her 170-pound Mastiff. So I decided to drop him off at her house while I was here because I have to go back and brush her cat. Anyway, I thought I was going in the right direction, and then I hit a roadblock. Mm-hmm. So I U-turned, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll just go down till I meet up with, it was Delaware.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know where I am. And suddenly I am north of town. I had to get back on the interstate and take your exit. Whatever. I'm out of sorts. Also, that dog is so heavy and my car is so small that it throws off everything. I have to start braking like 3 times, away from what I would normally do.
It's like pulling a trailer.
Kind of. It really throws it off. And then we take a turn and, his body is so big. It is so big. Luckily, he didn't sleep in the bed with me. The cats were guarding it. But he has before, and when he decides to get in your way, there's no moving him. It's funny, but yeah, he's a sweetheart. Anyway, directionally challenged is nothing new for me.
I thought you were going to say that maybe the exit was different because they're supposed to be opening up the 8035 Mixmaster soon.
I love that word, Mixmaster.
Yeah. Used to be like what do they call it? Like a 4-leaf clover kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're doing like what they did up by Ames where they go over with the bigger inner masses.
Sure.
And it's supposed to be open soon, so I thought maybe you might.
I don't like those really high up in the air ones. It feels like a roller coaster. It feels like you're going to go off the edge.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I like that about it, though.
No, I
think
feel
it's fun.
I feel very unsafe up there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid, but
it's unnatural.
Yeah. Anywho,
Mark Jensen coffee this morning.
Mark Jensen coffee.
So good.
Yeah, I already forgot our jingle that we worked so hard on.
I think we could reenact it right now.
Mark Jensen coffee. Mark Jensen coffee. It's
Jensen
the best coffee.
Jensen
Mark
Racing
Jensen
Coffee. It's pretty good.
I did get a text from Alyssa. Thanks, Alyssa. Mm. I'm glad you heard your dad's jingle and loved it. Maybe you could play it for him sometime.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I dug in the cupboard for that. I didn't look specifically for that, but I was just looking in our mug cupboard, and I forgot that I had that mug.
It's a catacorn.
Yeah, our friend Victoria gave that to me.
Okay.
Many years ago.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's very cute mug.
Shout out to Victoria.
Victoria.
She also is my hairstylist.
Uh-huh. She's good egg. Okay, well, you want to...
get into it?
I guess. I am a little worried.
Okay, so we went back to B&B theaters.
With the butter station.
And we did use the butter station this time, and I ate all of my popcorn.
Did I?
I don't know.
I think I did.
Sure.
I didn't drink all of my second beer because I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah, we went to go see Wicked, which was wonderful.
I heard so many good...
But you're in the movie theater. I usually take notes on my phone, and
yeah.
it's dark, so you can't really write. But
I brought a notebook, but yeah.
Well, yeah, so I saw Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget didn't really see Wicked.
I guess I woke up right at the end. There was clapping. And then at one point, I remember you nudging me awake and saying you're snoring.
Yeah. I did that 3 times.
That was the thing that I was like, really?
Yeah.
To make me not feel so bad, you said there was another person snoring.
There was in the aisle behind us. I could hear him.
I feel really bad that I missed it. But to be honest, I've never seen Harry Potter either for the same reason.
You fall asleep?
Yeah, I just couldn't. But not for the same reason. I had a liquid lunch that day. I had lunch with my favorite bartender. So that was not a good plan on my part. And yeah, so sorry about that.
It's all right. What parts do you remember? I'm not sure. I remember you getting up to go get your second beer. And
Yeah, right.
And you missed like the first song.
The first song. I didn't hear any songs.
That alfalfa. I can never say it. Alphaba? Alfie? Alfie's easier. Alphaba. Like alphabet, but it starts with the E. I actually saw Wicked years and years ago when it like had its first run as a Broadway show. And I didn't remember any of it really. And I always remembered I could never figure out what they were calling Alphaba.
Well, I have a fun fact where that actually comes from. The author of The Wizard of Oz is named L. Frank Baum. So it's his initials, LFB, and it just kind of Alphaba.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting because it's such a weird name.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, that has to be some kind of callback, but I wasn't sure, like, not having a lot of background on the movie. Like, I didn't read the book. I did see the musical, but I would almost say I didn't because it's so long ago I don't remember anything. So I can't tell you, like, what they stuck to and what they didn't from the story.
I read the book and I hated it.
Yeah.
Similar to the way I hated Poor Things as a book. Because it's so different. And when I finished the book, I was like, that's not funny. It was hard to read and the story was weird. Like there was a lot of sex stuff. Was there sex stuff in this?
No.
It was weird. In the book, there was sex
I thought you were
stuff.
still talking about Poor Things. I'm like, yeah, there was lots of sex stuff in that one.
Poor Things.
In Wicked, no, there wasn't any sex.
I encourage you to read the book and tell me what you think.
Okay. I actually have it on my shelf. I've just never read it.
But it's like the musical or whatever would be an adaptation of the book.
Yeah.
And Poor Things was also an adaptation because the book is just letters back and forth between the doctor and his protege, soon to be wedded to blah blah blah. So maybe that's why the book sucks.
Yeah.
But I think Wizard of Oz itself is a little hard to read too. It's just the way he writes.
Yeah, I've never read that either.
I don't want to. I don't hate musicals though, and I heard it's beautiful.
It was very beautiful. The outfits were amazing. Alphaba takes her little sister to school, and she's not enrolled in school. She's just watching after her sister, letting her get settled in. Somebody tries to push her sister who's in a wheelchair around in her wheelchair. They're helping her, but they're doting on her like she's helpless. Oh. Which her sister hates. The one in the wheelchair. So Alphaba gets mad because the woman's not listening to her and saying like, don't push her, she can do it. She wants to do it by herself. Like, stop doting on her. And because she gets all like angry, then her powers. I guess it's very rare in the witch school these days to have actual powers anymore.
The witch school?
Yeah, where her sister is going.
Oh, I thought you meant there's one now.
Oh.
Somewhere.
No, like...
And I was like,
Yeah. I remember what the school's name is called Shiz.
Shiz.
And I was going to say this movie was the Shiz.
Yeah.
The school's name is Shiz, and they do teach some magic stuff there, but it's also like a boarding school.
Can we get shirts that say Shiz University?
That would be great. I'm sure that exists.
I have a fun fact about some of the merch. So when Mattel put out the toys of Glinda and Alphaba, accidentally they put a URL on the back that led to a porn site. And apparently, can you imagine what it was? Because it probably had the word wicked in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, they recalled all that. Yeah. But the site itself was very similar. However, it was not right. And so they recalled these toys. This was this month.
Oh, wow.
Early November 2024. That's current. And of course, everybody who heard that, eBay. It's a collector's item now. Woo-woo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review. Wow. So I work in the advertising world, and one of the things that we sometimes do is packaging. And I just know how many eyeballs have to see that package before it goes to print. How
Right.
does something like that get missed?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody decided to check the link.
Well,
One last check.
yeah, but remember the Barbie movie? We know a lot about the Mattel executives. You know, it was Will Ferrell. Who knows? But yeah, that's a big boo-boo.
Yeah.
See, I actually got things to say, even though I didn't see the movie.
My point is, the mistress, she is going to teach Elphaba, and then she gets enrolled in the school because she sees that Elphaba actually has power. The outfits that the head mistress wore had these like really interesting collars where they were like stiff, but they seemed like they were really thin material. Like you could see through them sometimes.
Neat.
And I was like, I wonder how they got them to stand up like that. Like just starch the hell out of them, or they might be stiffer than they look, or it didn't seem like there was wires in them, but maybe something like that. But a lot of stuff that had like a collar that stuck up with a really delicate material, and I thought that was cool.
That makes me think of the Wicked Witch in Snow White.
Yeah.
Or was that a Wicked stepmother?
Yeah, she's not a royal. She's just like she's just a witch in that one.
Yeah.
But she like pretends to be herself.
I mean, I feel like I've seen that style of collar before.
Yes.
Who knows what? But yeah, good question.
That was cool. They have a lot. I thought it was interesting how Ariana Grande's character, Glenda, Galinda, for half the movie. Anyway, Galinda was always dressed in pink, even though they were at like a boarding school and everybody else was in uniforms or at least like in some color that matched the uniforms.
Okay.
She never wore a school uniform.
Like Wednesday.
She's just like, I can wear pink.
Yeah.
So whenever like dance scene or whatever, when all the students are dancing and they're wearing the same thing, then she's just like in pink, you know? But Elphaba, she does wear the uniform sometimes, probably because she's trying to fit in.
Sure.
Whereas like Glenda doesn't follow rules. She gets her way.
Oh.
Ariana Grande did a really good job with this role. Like she
role
had been saying for years, like, I want to play her. And then she did get it and she did great.
Because she met Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, okay.
And she was just a little girl.
Yeah.
I don't remember how old, but yeah, can you imagine? Probably first time she saw it, she was like,
yeah,
God, I wish I could do that. A lot of people auditioned.
Yeah, I believe it.
Surprising number of people that would not have been as good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. She was great. She played the little brat role very well.
Yeah.
But she did it like in a very exaggerated way that was very funny, I thought.
Oh, okay.
And just it was cute. She's adorable. And then Cynthia Erivo. I knew I wasn't gonna get it right.
Andale.
She's a more like lesser known name. Like I didn't know her until this film, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice. But she was amazing. Her voice is wild.
Power.
Yeah, it's so good. And she has like a way of it's very soulful, almost in like a R&B way, but still she has the diction of like the musical, you know, that way that they sing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it was an interesting like mix of those two, and she's just so good. Like I was like in tears in a couple of points.
Oh, I was snoring.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not normal for actors to live sing as they're filming, and they insisted. And the director was like, yeah, but how, there's so many intricate parts of the music. How are you gonna do the, get your breath out and in those hard sequences? And they both were like, that's what we do.
Right.
They're singers.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely against singing along with the pre-recorded track. How often would that happen? I'll bet not that.
No, so you're saying they did live sing everything. That's awesome.
They live sang. Yes, it is awesome.
That is awesome.
Even though I missed it all.
Well, watch it again. You'll find it when it comes out on streaming. You'll like it. It's very good. It's long though. That's my only my only gripe is it felt a little long. Well, it was long. It was 3 hours long.
2022, they were tossing around the idea of making it in 2 parts because they were like, we don't want to do a disservice.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So interesting. I really had a nice long nap.
Yeah.
Wow.
I asked you, we can't, like, do you at least feel rested?
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, we got to sit a little closer than I would have liked.
Yeah.
And so we were basically like laying down
Yeah.
because of the reclining seat, and we were so close to the screen. So I don't think that probably helped you.
No.
Falling asleep in your reclining seat.
Oh, man. I don't even have a recliner at home, but I imagine if I did.
Oh, yeah. We have
I'd
recliners and
sleep in it all the time, maybe.
we're always falling asleep.
See?
It's great.
It's so comfy there. You're full of butter.
Yeah.
Butter and beer. Is that a Harry Potter reference? Butter beer?
Butterbeer is, yeah.
I don't know, because I fell
Yeah.
asleep.
I did. There were a lot of like similarities to Harry Potter in this, just because it's like a magical school.
Sure.
And I think they even mentioned in the dialogue some point, like, this isn't Hogwarts. And I was like,
This is in Hogwarts.
that's funny that they're calling it out, in the movie.
Idina Menzel from Frozen,
Yeah.
who played Elsa,
Yes.
originally played Elphaba on stage. And they are pointing out similarities in those two roles. They're both social outcasts, both have a bubbly, fun-loving opposite
Yes.
character that immediately falls for a guy only to find out that his feelings don't match their own. And then they're saying that the similar themes between Let It Be and Defying Gravity, finding empowerment, self-confidence in the midst of social hostility.
Yeah.
That's the human condition.
Yeah. Like the Frozen movie, it's really a love story between two girls. Like,
Yeah.
in Frozen, they're sisters. In this one, they're friends.
Friends.
But there is like a really touching moment at the end, like where they're singing Defying Gravity together.
Yeah.
And then Galinda decides she doesn't want to take off because Elphaba is going to run away because the town is turned against her.
Oh, okay.
Because the media has made it seem like she did a bunch of bad stuff.
Oh, okay. They had media. Okay.
Yeah. That
Is
reminded
that
me of
how
Harry Potter
she
a lot.
became wicked?
Yeah.
Was just getting angry?
They tricked her into creating winged monkeys.
Yeah.
They trick her into it, and then they take that fact that they tricked her into doing it, and they release it to the media as like she did this. She mutilated all these animals.
How did they trick her into doing it?
Well, they have this book.
That's the fucking scariest part
Right.
about the whole movie.
Head sorceress I mentioned earlier, she actually is like bad. She ends up being bad. So
Okay.
she sees Elphaba's talent and she wants to train her so they can do this stuff. Because ultimately, like, there's a thing being perpetrated by the Wizard of Oz
Okay.
that he doesn't want animals to learn to talk. He wants to keep them in cages and.
Okay.
Because at this point in Oz, the animals can talk and they're teachers and they have forever.
Right. I did see the goat.
Yeah, the goat. Yeah.
I must
He's a
have
big part of
drifted
this.
in and out. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So they basically, like, she was very against that, but they turned it into her being like part of that movement at the
okay.
end. But the head sorceress lady was working with the Wizard of Oz, and that's how she got Elphaba to go to Oz and meet him and stuff, because they wanted to use her to put animals away.
Huh.
Once she figured out that that's what they're doing, but they showed her this book and it has an ancient language and she could just read it.
Oh.
So she was just reading it. She wasn't really sure what she would.
Ah.
And then all of a sudden, all the monkeys have wings.
Oh, okay. So she didn't actually like surgically.
No. No. They just started like growing wings.
Gross.
Like a werewolf, kind of like, "Rah," you know?
Yeah, as if monkeys aren't agile enough.
Right.
Let's make them fly.
Exactly.
Oh
Well,
my God.
the wizard says something to the effect of, because the monkeys are the guards, or chimps, I guess. They're chimps.
Chimps are terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
They are terrifying. They will bite your face off. Yeah. Have you seen Chimp Crazy?
I have, yes.
That guy with no nose? Oh. Yeah. First, they're going to take your fingers.
Yep.
And then they're going to bite your dick off
Yeah.
if you have one.
Mhm. And then go for the face.
And then they'll go for the face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's eating her. Hurry.
Yeah. But they don't kill you. Like, they just want to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's
well,
the real
yeah,
fucked up
you're
part.
totally defenseless without fingers.
Yeah.
Bleeding profusely
Yeah.
from the face holes.
So they don't need another advantage.
Goodness.
We would
no.
all be, it would be very bad if all chimps started to be able to fly too.
Jesus, right?
They'd take over.
Oof.
So, yeah. But there's a very touching scene where, like, Elphaba asks Galinda to go with her to leave the city, and she's like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
and
that
they're
was
taking,
in
like,
the commercials.
Yeah,
So I've seen that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm coming. So
A very like tearful goodbye.
oh,
Up on, of course, there, at the top of this beautiful building. Anyway, no, it was about friendship, and I like that,
yeah, that's cool. This morning I got a text with some pictures from my friend Melinda, and we have had a 30-year friendship, and she sent me pictures of all the things that I've made her over the years. So that was really special. I guess my morning hasn't been too bad other than getting lost.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And for so long ago, it's some of those things I'm like, wow, I don't even remember doing it, but isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Anywho, I also did see Bowen Yang in there. Mm-hmm. And his character is named Fanny.
Yeah.
That in British slang means female genitalia, which is funny because in this country it means the butt.
Yeah.
The butt side. Anyway, so whenever he was called on set, the production assistants were like giggling. I would too. And that role was originally a woman, but they wanted Bowen Yang, so they just changed it.
Yeah.
Anywho. So what else?
Yeah. Overall, it was really good.
I wish I could have. That's the wrong way to start that sentence because I'm mad that I didn't see all like the scenery, the background. Mm-hmm. Some of that would have been CGI, but it looked like it was very cool.
Yeah. There's one scene where I think it's CGI frogs, but was it Elphaba, I think, was like running around and there's all these frogs on the ground and she's like jumping from thing to thing and the frogs are like water falling out of her way.
Oh, okay. Like parting the Red Sea.
Yeah. Yeah. Like so she can walk down the path.
Oh, yeah. Frogs, do my bidding. Or toads. Maybe it was cane toads.
Maybe it was toads. I can't tell the difference.
Oh.
Isn't the difference that like frogs mostly live in water and toads mostly live on land, or is that not true?
I have no fucking idea. I used to love toads when I was little until one pooped on me.
Yeah, we used to when I had the dugout basement windows,
Uh-huh.
So there's like that little dugout place so that they can have windows. That's where, for years when I was a kid, a family of toads would always take up shop. Yeah, so there would mom, I'm assuming, and then a few little babies, and I'd always be playing with them. I loved them.
Baby toads are the best.
Yeah. We went camping one time and I found the tiniest toad I've ever seen. It was with Sweet Point when we were out there. It was in the bathroom and it was just like the size of the tip of my finger. So I picked him up and put him outside. So cute.
That is cute.
Little toad.
How'd you get in there, little toad?
He was so tiny. Probably could have held him to the door, honestly.
He's like, Mom, where are you?
Yeah, I have no idea if that's normal. I feel like most amphibians just have their youngins and go.
Yeah.
But it was always like multiples, so I assumed it was like a little family.
Oh, they're so cute. Way cuter than a family of garter snakes, I'll tell you that much. The hissing ball of snake orgy. I think you need a land snail for mucin.
Okay.
And not the in the water snails. However, they are illegal.
Oh, you can't own them?
Uh-uh.
Dang.
Because they're giant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Like a giant cartoon snail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is sort of on topic, I guess. We watched this like Disney movie the other night that I'd never heard of. It was called Epic.
Okay.
And it was like, it had all these celebrities in it, like starred Beyonce and like, I'm trying to think who else. Josh Hutchins.
Is it a cartoon?
It's a cartoon. Yeah. I don't know how it ran under the radar, but it was really good. And they had like they had a snail and a slug that were like, the comedy relief duo.
Okay.
And it was Aziz Ansari was the slug.
I love him.
And I don't remember who the other person was. But all these big names, and I don't know.
Wow.
They kind of saved the day. So there you go.
Slugs save the day.
It was good.
Well, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, maybe we watch that and Tangled sometime.
Okay.
So you can see Tangled. I'm gonna teach you be popular.
Popular. Oh. Give me a little of all the songs here. Give me a little ditty.
Oh, I can't.
How does Defying Gravity go?
Is that Defying Gravity. Da, 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 da. I don't know. I don't really know it. But
is that the one that she sings the little riff in the Target commercial?
I I haven't seen that.
It's pretty cute.
Okay.
She walks up on several customers looking at the albums,
Oh, okay.
and they're all singing. "Ah!" And then she walks up and she goes, "That's my line," and sings it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
It probably is because like that's the the song everybody knows from
Right,
that. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Dang, I really missed out.
Yeah.
Well, lesson learned.
So
You know.
we don't have brunch before, and we don't have liquid lunch either.
Right, right,
If we want to stay awake
right.
or eat popcorn.
God, it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I didn't fall asleep a little bit the last time we went.
Yeah.
The seat warmer. And this time there wasn't one, but we were really like laying and looking up almost.
Yeah, we had which is nice that they reclined for that because if
Yeah.
you're in like a regular seat,
Yeah.
kind of hurting your neck the whole time. But yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, I heard someone else snoring too, so I'm sure you were not the only one that nodded off in those comfortable chairs.
Oh my gosh.
So they have a version which I specifically didn't buy because I didn't want to be in that theater, but there was one that was like play along, and they have a like little interactive thing ahead of the movie.
Oh.
But it's for kids. So I knew if we went to that theater, it would just be like full of little kids, and
Yeah.
I didn't want that for us.
That's another thing I kind of expected, but maybe it's just in bigger cities. Because they're saying, is it okay or not okay to sing along and belt it out? What's your take on
I
that?
think no.
I don't-
Not in a movie
yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. You wouldn't do that at a Broadway show either.
That's so funny.
You wouldn't go and like sing along with them in the audience. So
Yeah. Well,
I think no.
Yeah, there's a huge debate on that. And like same with the Taylor Swift Eras tour when they had that in theaters and people were singing along, and it's like, no, I'm going there to hear a good singer.
Yeah.
Not you next to me.
Sure, but I will sing along at a concert though, so is that
Yeah, but nobody can hear you at
Right.
a concert,
Yeah.
you know.
that's true.
And everybody's doing it. So,
Yeah, I think they should like have both. Like if you want to go sing,
Right.
you can buy a ticket for that show.
the sing along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then but I would say generally as a rule, no, you shouldn't be singing along.
I was hoping, though, that we would hear that and that we could record it a little bit and put a clip in. This is what it was like.
Yeah.
Too bad, so sad.
No, nobody sang along.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of the songs well enough to do it
Okay.
myself and pretend.
Well, yeah. I mean, some people are like diehard, hardcore Wicked fans.
Yeah.
My former sister-in-law, she is everything Wicked, Wizard of Oz, everything. Did you see that the original Ruby Slippers and Wicked Witch hat are going up for auction? They had that on the Today Show. Savannah and Hoda had to put on gloves to touch them. They didn't touch the hat, but they each got to pick up one of the slippers. And, you know, got a real close up view of all the sequins that are sewn on there. Guess. So they were like, oh, look, it has her name in it inside the shoes. Very cool.
That's so cool. Do you know, I didn't realize until I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race, A Wealth of Information, that Judy Garland was kind of part of the reason that they had the riots.
Okay.
There's a lot more to it, but basically Judy Garland was a big reason that gay rights activists were able to make forward motion.
Okay.
She was like such an icon, and there was something about like some connection there. Of course, I'm telling the terrible story.
That's great.
Anyway, but
That's
yeah,
great
that's
to
one of the
hear.
reasons it's not just because she's like this gay icon and being a singer in the Wizard of Oz and all that, but she actually like was part of the Stonewall. It has something to do with Stonewall.
Oh, and I hate Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
I hate him so much.
I love him.
Really.
We watched Jurassic Park the other day, the original one, and I was like, yeah, he's
The director called him during that movie the Wizard of Oz. I think you and I are also wizards of but nobody hears it because I take them all out.
Yeah. I'm trying not to say like so much, but I'm failing.
Anything else on
On Frozen, no. On Wicked, let's see. I 10,
Yeah.
10 out of 10, except it could have been shorter, but I guess they really needed it. Didn't feel slow.
Yeah.
It just was kind of like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I did have to go in the middle, but I didn't think I missed too much.
Isn't the Wizard of Oz movie also quite long?
Mm.
Yeah. And don't they show it around this time?
Yeah, it's sort of like a weird Christmas thing.
Okay, yeah.
Where they like show it every year, and they've done that forever. I remember my mom talking about they did that still when she was a kid, and they had a black and white TV. So she didn't know that it was color.
Yeah.
For years.
Well, part of it's in black and white
Right.
until they get to the Oz.
Yeah.
I think Mom might have had us come to the kitchen for snacks when the monkeys happened.
Because that was scary.
Yeah, because I don't think I noticed them until I was much older.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for not traumatizing us.
Yeah. It is fun to see the little things that they put in to nod to the Wizard of Oz, because obviously it's related, but like they have the backstory of how the monkeys got created.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where they're picking out the color of the brick with the wizard, and Galinda is like, no, go back. I think it's yellow. And I thought that was cute. Just like little calls out to the Wizard of Oz and how those things happened.
Did they have munchkins?
Yeah, they did have Munchkinville, whatever, but they weren't really little people.
Okay.
They were just kind of smaller than normal.
Okay.
They weren't like in the Wizard of Oz, they're all little people.
Right.
In this case, there was like a munchkin guy that was dating the little sister that's in the wheelchair. I mean, he was a munchkin, but he was 5'5".
They're just dressed cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 5'5". I'm a munchkin. All right. Well, I think, I mean, how do you feel about that? Should there have been little people?
I don't know. The munchkins really weren't a part of the story, so
yeah,
I don't know that it was important either way.
It does seem kind of rude in this time to make them, to just cast a bunch of little people.
I guess, but
I don't know.
If they are little, it's like little people exist.
Yeah.
But they're not like a race, or I guess, which is kind of how they're portrayed in Wizard of Oz. They're like an ethnicity
like
or
pygmies
something.
or something, smaller stature. I don't know. One or two of them could have been.
Yeah. I was surprised. I don't know how big Cynthia is, but her and Ariana Grande seem to be like exactly the same size.
Okay.
And I thought that was funny because I think Ariana Grande is tiny.
Yeah. I don't.
But I guess I don't know how tall she is, but she's very like petite. I would guess she's probably only like 5 foot tall, but maybe Cynthia is too. I don't know.
Hard to tell because heels and nails.
True. She had.
Woof.
Yeah, those
and
witch
that was
nails.
her idea.
The nails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just like, I want them to look like they're just growing right out of my hands.
Yeah.
Which is what nails do.
Right.
But kind of like symbolic of the magic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They were cool nails. Yeah. I've always, I think that's so cool, but I can't function with long nails.
No way.
But I love like the look of it.
Well, you can't play ukulele with long nails.
You can't even have kind of long nails.
No.
Like, they have to be
short.
You can't be over your tip of your finger. They get in the way.
Exactly. Or scratch up the neck. Mm-hmm. Did we do it?
I think we did. We flicked some beans. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Party all night long.